Today we're going to be learning our next two exponent rules. This is going to cover problems numbers 13 through 36. So this video is going to be probably a little bit longer. Just bear with me. So the poster for this first section, what rule are you looking for? You're looking for what we call the product rule. And the product rule reads x to the m, sorry, not plus, let me get rid of that, times x to the n is equal to x to the m plus n. Now, let me show you why this is true. So this first example, I'm going to write out very long ways. What I mean by that is, let's remember that technically speaking, 5n to the third is 5 times n to the third, and 3n to the fourth is 3 times n to the fourth. This is multiplication, so I can rearrange it to put the numbers next to the numbers and the n's next to the n's. And now for this example only, I'm going to actually write this all out. So n to the third power is 1, 2, 3 n's. And n to the fourth power is 1, 2, 3, 4 n's. This we can now clean up massively. 5 times 3 is just 15. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 n's being multiplied together is n to the seventh. So now that we have the answer, let's look back at that problem. 5n to the third times 3n to the fourth. The coefficients of 5 and 3 are multiplied to make our 15. Our variables of n to the third and n to the fourth, using this rule, the exponents of 3 and 4 get added. 3 plus 4 is the 7 in the answer. Now this is how I'm going to tackle the remainder of the problems. I'm not going to write them all out like I did for number 13. In number 14, the coefficients are 7 and 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Our variables are x and x to the third. Now, you must remember that the x that does not have an exponent does have an exponent. It is invisible right now, but it is a 1. For some of you, you're going to want to make that visible. You're going to want to write it. Now, we're multiplying two x's together, so we can add their exponents. 1 plus 3 is 4. So the simplified answer to number 14 is 35x to the fourth. In number 15, coefficients are 8 and 2, so 8 times 2 is 16. Variables are b squared and b squared. When we add the two 2's, we get b to the fourth. 16b to the fourth. At this point, I invite you to pause and try 16 through 19. I am just going to talk these ones out loud and write the answers down. In number 16, 5 times 7 is 35. P to the fourth times p to the third is p to the 4 plus 3 is 7. In number 17, 7 times 5 is 35. X to the third times x to the third. 3 plus 3 gives us x to the sixth. For number 18, we have 4 times 4 being 16. N to the fourth and m to the second. We add the exponents. 4 plus 2 is 6. And in number 19, 5 times 3 is 15. And the variables are different. There's a y variable, there's an x variable. You can't put those together. They're different letters, they're speaking different languages. Now, when we put these into the final answer, I'm actually going to put the x to the fourth first, then my y to the second. Anytime something contains multiple variables, it is best practice to write those variables in alphabetical order. All right, number 20. Now this one, I'm not going to write out like I did the very first problem, but I am going to do like I did on 14 and 15, just for a couple of problems here. In number 20, numerically, coefficients, there's a 7 and another 7. So that gives me 49. There's an x to the fourth, and an x to the third, and an x to the fourth. All the x's can be combined into a single x by adding all three exponents. So 4 plus 3 plus 4 is 11. There are also y's in this problem. There's a y to the third, and there's a y to the second. 3 plus 2 means we have y to the fifth. Final simplified version of number 20 is 49, x to the 11th, y to the fifth. In number 21, 4 times 2 is 8. Y times y to the fourth, remembering that that y has an invisible 1, is y to the fifth. And the x cubed doesn't have anything to combine with, so it's just there. In alphabetical order, we're going to have 8, x to the third, y to the fifth. At this point, I invite you to pause and try 22 through 24. In 22, 2 times 6 is 12. X to the fourth with the extra x from the 6. That's x to the fifth power. And the y is to the fourth power. In number 23, 5 times 2 is 10. X squared times x cubed is x to the fifth. Y squared times y is y to the third. In number 24, the 7 doesn't have anyone to combine with. The x doesn't have anyone to combine with. But y times y to the third power is y to the fourth power. And that sets us to a new rule. So the remainder of today's problems use or introduce another rule and probably put it together with the rule we just had. So this actually has two rules being shown. So the first rule is the product to a power rule. So if you have two things being multiplied in parentheses, and there's an exponent outside those parentheses, we can distribute the exponent to everybody inside the parentheses. The other rule in this section is power to a power. So if we have x to the m to the n, we can simplify that as x to the mn. Now, again, I'm going to do 25 a bit in a long way, just to illustrate these two rules, and then I'm going to talk you through using these rules so that we can do these a little bit faster. So number 25 is asking us to do 8m to the fourth, the whole thing to the second power. So that whole thing to the second power means really they're asking us to do 8m to the fourth times 8m to the fourth. That's what 8m to the fourth to the second power means. I need two 8m to the fourths. Well, now this is like the previous problems. We can do 8 times 8 is 64. M to the fourth times m to the fourth is m to the eighth. We add those exponents. So we have an answer of 64 m to the eighth. Now let's look at this using the rules that are right here. So I'm going to erase the work that I just wrote. I'm going to leave the answer because we know that's what we should get. And here's what this would look like using these rules. Step one is to give the 2 to both 8 and m to the fourth. So that becomes 8 to the second times m to the fourth to the second. Now 8 to the second goes straight to 64, no questions asked. 8 times 8 is 64. M to the fourth to the second uses the second rule there, where we have to multiply the 4 and the 2 on the exponent. And that gives me my m to the eighth. Number 26. Step 1 is to distribute the outside exponent. So we're going to have 5 to the fourth, x to the fourth. Nobody already had an exponent, so nothing crazy here. But we do need to work out what 5 to the fourth is. Okay. Now, you can do this off to the side if you want, but 5 to the fourth is 4 5s being multiplied. 5 times 5 is 25. So 4 5s is 2 25s, and 25 times 25 is 625. In 27, we're going to have 3 to the fourth times v to the second to the fourth. 3 to the fourth, well, 3 to the second is 9, so 3 to the fourth is 2 9s. 9 times 9 is 81. Using our second rule, v to the second to the fourth, we multiply these exponents. That gets us v to the eighth. Oh, let's see. At this point, I'm just checking to see. You can pause and attempt the remainder of the problems if you like, and you can pause at any point now and try some of the problems through number 36. We're just going to be repeating these rules. So number 28, 6 to the second times a to the fourth to the second. 6 to the second is 36. A to the fourth to the second is a to the eighth. In 29, we're going to have 7 to the second times n to the fourth to the second. That is 49 n to the eighth. In number 30, we're going to have 7 to the fourth times n to the second to the fourth. Now 7 to the fourth power, we know 7 to the second power is 49. So 7 to the fourth power is 49 times 49. Again, you can do that off to the side. In the interest of keeping the video kind of controlled for size, I'm going to use a calculator. 49 times 49 is 2,401. N to the second to the fourth is n to the eighth. 31 just has triple distribution. So we're going to have 3 to the fourth times a to the second to the fourth times b to the third to the fourth. All three items in the parentheses get that exponent of 4. 3 to the fourth power is 81. We've done that before. A to the second to the fourth. 2 times 4 is a to the eighth. B to the third to the fourth is b to the 3 times 4 makes 12. In 32, we're going to have 5 to the fourth times y to the fourth to the fourth. From above, 5 to the fourth is 625. Y to the fourth, 4 times 4 gives us y to the 16th. In number 33, we're going to have 2 to the third power times y to the third power times x squared to the third power. 2 to the third power is 8. I'm going to do x next because of alphabetical order. So x to the second to the third is x to the sixth. 2 times 3, and the y to the third is just there. Number 34 is 7 to the second v to the second. 7 to the second is 49. Number 35 is 6 to the second times a to the second to the second. 6 to the second power is 36. A to the second is a to the fourth. And finally, for today, number 36, we're going to have 8 to the second times a to the second to the second. 8 squared is 64, and a to the second to the second is a to the fourth.